Good afternoon, you guys. Welcome. My name is Marlene, and this is Marley Grace Creations page. I'm just going to wait on a few people to hop on. I don't know why I just had a brain freeze, but I did. I'm not sure what happened. Anyway, welcome to my page. We're going to craft. Hey, Connie. How are you? I just had a complete brain freeze. I came on and said, welcome to Marley Grace Creations, and just went, just stopped. Oh, hey, Lane, how are you? Hi, you guys. Okay, I see 4 people hopping on. I am going to change some boxes that look like books into prettier books. So they're going to look like a stack of books, but they're really going to be secret boxes that you can store things in that nobody would even know that you had stuff in but you. So, hey Diane, how are you? So I found some pretty paper a while ago. This is what I found for this one so far. I hope I've got it cut right. I don't know. Might not be quite big enough, maybe. So this is going to be the edge of this book. Hey Ava, how are you? So I have 2 more books here. So I've got to pick out some paper. And let's see. I want it to kind of coordinate with that. So it can be green. It can be, hey Nancy, how are you? Love the jars today. There's some. I did a couple of navy. I don't have any. Hey Victoria, I don't have any. I cannot get comfortable, y'all. I don't have any details or anything on it. I want it all to dry really, really good. So I'm not going to do any of that for a day or two. And I might come back on and do all the details with you guys. But I have several of these books, and they have the prettiest papers in them. And let's see. I'll show you the papers, but here's some that I have picked out. This one is really pretty. Of course, my dining room is green, and you're awake. Hey, Kathy, how are you? Hey, Dee Dee, congratulations. I just read your post. I hope y'all have a good time, enjoy each other's company. Okay, let's see. I love that one, so I know I want to use that one, and I think it will coordinate pretty good with that if it was in the same stack. What do you think? And it's big enough now. I'm not sure about these other ones. I've realized that if I'm in here and my door's open, my dog will lay down and go to sleep. So far, so good. Of course, I took her outside and played ball a while. Here's some butterflies. Look at these papers, y'all. It's hard to see. I guess if I do it this way, you guys can see the papers. Yeah, you can see them better. All kinds of vintage looking papers. Community page where we can share our crafts. Marley Grace Showcase. That's where you can share all your crafts. Some of you share all the time, and that's okay. That's what it's for. Just make sure it's your craft, and it's inspired by something that we've done on here. It doesn't have to be. Sometimes it's nice to share. Oh, this is like backwards from that. That's kind of pretty though. It's got a little bit of green. Sometimes it's nice to share things that we can inspire other people with. Hey, Debbie Church, how are you? Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? That might coordinate pretty good, even though it's not. Can you guys see this paper? Yes, you can. There's some green leopard. I think not. Not for this. I love it. Okay, I must love that because I already have it, and I started to pick it again. That's pretty lime green. I don't want that. Polka dots. Polka dots would work, but that's kind of an odd color. Hey, Amanda, how are you? I'm going to show you these boxes in just a minute. I've had them a long time, and they came from Hobby Lobby. I used them in my husband's office. Probably paid too much for them. And I don't like, well, that's kind of pretty. Maybe. We'll see. Hey, Andrea. That's pretty, isn't it? That might work. I don't know. Let me look in this other. This is a lot of vintage paper. I love this book. Beautiful paper, isn't it? Let me turn it backwards for you guys so you can see it better. Yeah, you can see it better that way, I think. I think if I can not go so fast. That's kind of pretty. What is that? Butterflies and, that's got all kinds of stuff. It wouldn't hurt to pull it out. Hey, Susie Craig. It is gorgeous paper. You being a teacher. Hey, Debbie Hill. Do you have a new puppy? I think I saw. I love this, but I'm going to save it for something else and not use pink for this. If that was a recent video, Debbie, I saw your puppy. It was talking. Mine talks too. She's got a loud talk. Let's see. Maybe I'll just use what I have so far. Hey, Susan, how are you? That's pretty. I think I've used this before. Let's see if that coordinates. That coordinates pretty good. Did you just buy that? This paper? No, I've had this paper a long time, Stacy. I'll show you the names of these books. Hey, Teresa. I did buy 2 new books today. Oh, that's pretty. It's got a lot of pink in there, though. I'll save that when I want to do something pink. I did buy 2 books today, except they're Christmas. I've been wanting them for a while, and I thought, not really, but the time has come. The time has come that I've got to start doing some Christmas. So, okay, I think we'll use what we have. This book is called Theodosia Square. It's got all that in it. And this one has 3 of each sheet. This one's called Tattered and Worn, and this has 3 each too. This is Tattered and Worn. A lot of these look vintage. That's my favorite too. And this is called Our Family Tree. And this has got some clocks and some things that look kind of like ledger and that kind of stuff. And I love it, but not for this book, I don't think. Even though I love the clocks. It does look vintage. Okay, let me put these aside. I'll put them away later. All right, I've got this book and this book, and they're not totally ugly. It's just, it doesn't go anywhere in my house. It was in my husband's office under a clock. So, let's see. I'm going to use this one on this book. So, if you paint this part of your book and use this just as your binding, then when you stack your books, this is what you see. And really the only bit you'll see, there's Sassy and Chick. I'll just call you Sassy Chick again. How's that? I'll get it right one day. Hey, Paula, how are you? So I'm going to put this greenish on there. So we got that one picked out. Now, I need something to coordinate with that. Let's see what these papers do. Okay, we know we're using this one, right? So let's see what coordinates. I do love that. I think that'll go together. It's kind of purple, but it's kind of brown. So, okay, that's good. This one might work because it's got all colors in it, and it's got a lot of stuff. That kind of reminds you of a book, don't it? Thank you for sprinkling, Paula. Let's use those three, even though that's awful pretty. I think it's going to be this one instead of that purple. Yeah, these work better, I think. Let's do those. Okay, I'll put these back in the book. As long as my dog decides to sleep, we're in good shape. Okay, that's for the little one. Now we've got to get... Okay, the little one's going to be on top. So whatever one you put on top is going to be the one that's going to be seen the most. Okay, so this is going to be in the middle. Hey, Shelly Crabtree, how are you? So I want to put this. It needs to go this way because that's the way it's going to be stacked. See, these are boxes. And I don't have to do anything to this part. They look like pages. So, hey, Debbie Darnell. R. Oh, that's just about a perfect fit. Oh, my goodness. Okay. That's going to go this way. I like it just like that. So, okay. That's going to be the side of this book. That's what's going to show. Okay, and this one, let's see, this is going to be this one. Hey, Carolyn, how are you? Thanks for hopping on, you guys. And then we're going to add some ribbon to these and some paint. So, I think this one needs about this much on this side. You can cover the whole book. If you really want to cover the whole book, you can. I really don't want to cover the whole book. I'm going to cover the outside part and paint this and the edges. So I just need to get my form here. So, you know, got to do everything else. Bend your paper and get yourself a line. And I want this to be the same on both sides, so I'm just going to cut. And then I'm going to fold it over. And then when you put your papers together, you're going to have an exact straight line. Hey, Penny Williams, how are you? I'm taking some boxes that look kind of like books and make them look like vintage prayer books. Okay. So this one is going to go. Did I save that big enough? Is that the right one? I don't think that's the right one. Yes, it is. I just don't have the side cut yet. I know it doesn't make sense to y'all, maybe, if you have never seen me do this, why I'm just covering a little bit of it here, but you'll see in a minute. Now, I've already creased that at the top, so I've already got my line there. And if you put your papers together and line your sides up, you're going to have a straight line. And not so straight, to me, is better. If it's a little bit frayed, it's better. Okay. That is going to go right there. going to go ahead and put some Mod Podge on this and get the papers down. And then I'll paint up to the papers. And I have some vintage ribbon and lace that I'm going to put between the paint and the paper. I think my very, very first live ever, I did a set of these books. I can't remember, maybe my second live. But I know it wasn't far in there. And I've got them in my dining room, and I've never got tired of them. So, let's just do another set. I want if you can see what I'm doing, I want this to be about the same as that. So if it was really on a book and you closed your book, it would pretty much line up. So that's what I'm going to try to do right here. I need a pencil line. Just to get it started. Now this is just Mod Podge. We're kind of using it as a glue. It basically is glue anyway, you know. So we're just using it as a glue. Hey, AB, how are you? I need to go up just a little bit more. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to put it here and here. And there's no need to paint this part because it's not going to show through. This is scrapbook paper. It's not Mod Podge paper, so it's not going to wrinkle and it's not going to tear and all that stuff. It's pretty sturdy, and you can't see through it real good. So, hey Tina. Okay, and we're going to use that as our paint line to end it. So. Just get it down and set it aside. Check it in a minute to make sure the edges are not frayed or anything. I don't think I have quite enough under the... I don't think I went quite far enough. Let me get a little more under here. There we go. And you can pick these boxes up, you guys, at Tuesday mornings and sometimes Hobby Lobby. These came from Hobby Lobby. Different places, even though, you know, they need to be on sale at Hobby Lobby or the price is ridiculous. Okay, this one is ready for paint. So let's just set it aside. And I have some molds that I may put on the ends. I'm not sure. Hey, Terry, how are you? Okay, here is this one. Which one is the front? Okay, turn this over. I like the way the edge of this side looks better, so that's going to be the top part. You get it kind of even. I just popped on is the book cover, let's see, is the book cover, oh gosh, where'd it go? Is the book cover, the actual cover in the book of it is a different color. Actually, Jan, I'm going to paint this part. This is the color that the books were. And I'm using this scrapbook paper to make it look like a vintage book. So I'm going to decoupage this on, really make it, you know, use it like glue. And then I'm going to paint this part, and I'm going to put a trim right there and maybe some molds on here. I haven't decided that yet. When we get there, we'll know. But, you know, a long time ago, this is the way the books, you probably could still find some books that have the binding like this, or I don't know if you call it binding or not. But, I think they're pretty. I love books like this. It's hard to find them anymore. So we're just going to make these look like vintage books. Did that answer your question, Jan? I'm thinking that's what you were asking me. Because I know it looks really horrible. It doesn't, they don't go together, do they? And you guys, check my page out. I'm going to be in an event this coming Sunday, for sure. Boy, did I mess up. I almost did. It hasn't been, if it wasn't for a friend of mine at church second guessing me, questioning me, I'm like, well, yeah. She's like, yeah, but it's the first. You said the 9th. I'm like, oh. So I went and checked it. Yes, I was way wrong. I would have been going live for that event and there wouldn't have been nobody around, but I couldn't understand why they hadn't talked to me about it or, you know, checked up. And I thought, okay, what's wrong going on? So now I know why, because it's next Sunday. So I'll be on at 2:15. Segments are 45 minutes. It's called Creepy Crafts. Is it Creepy Crafts? It's Halloween. Even though I don't do Halloween, I'm going to do kind of a Halloween thing. And it's going to be cute anyway. But the lineup is amazing. Got a lot of wonderful crafters doing that together. So I'll put the schedule up. I love this paper. I like all of it though. I'll put the schedule up for the times. I think it starts, is 11:45 Central Time. If I'm not mistaken, that's, okay, hold on. Have I got this right? I do. This is the big book, so this will be the one on the bottom. Normally, if I was doing this with like real books or even, you know, like different boxes, I would go ahead and paint this whole thing. But there's no reason to do that. Just doing this with the... Oh, I haven't even cut the back of this off yet. I'm going to have to stop and do that. Needs to be about there. So let me just get that last piece off. You guys share my page out. Oh my goodness, y'all. Thanks for the stars. Somebody has given me stars tonight. Y'all are amazing. Thank you, thank you. I can't tell who did it, but I can see it later. Okay, let me get... It's about there. Get it on this side. Paint should cover this pretty good. It shouldn't be a crazy lot. Let's hope not. I started to do the whole thing in paper and just do several kinds of paper. But I couldn't find papers that I wanted to do together, so not one on top of the other. Okay, I tore that little piece and it's okay. I'm just gonna bond it and put it right back down. You'll never even know it's there. There's a tiny bit of overhang on these and I did it on purpose so I could sand it off and it'll be right on the edge. So I need a baby wipe, y'all. think I'm through with the decoupage. Okay. That looks good. That really looks vintage, doesn't it? Look at that paper. Isn't that beautiful? Not this. It looks horrible with that. That's going to change in just a minute. Just a minute. Okay. This is the first book. I'm going to dry it just a little bit. And then I'm going to paint a coordinating color up to the edge of this paper. And then we're going to put some hot glue on it with some trim. I better, is my hot glue? No, it's not plugged in, y'all. What's new, right? Okay. Let me grab my cord. Okay, by the time we need it, that'll be in. Okay. I want that to look crinkled up right there. I want it to look all wrinkled up in that crease. See there? It looks like it's been opened and read a lot. Okay. Now I've got to find coordinating paint for this. Let's see here. Okay, that. Maybe this one. Did the comments stop, or you guys just be quiet? I don't know if I've moved them. Oh, okay. They weren't moving. Didn't even realize you weren't using real books. No. Sprinkle. Can't remember if I did. When, Debbie. Where did the boxes come from? These came from Hobby Lobby, but a few years ago. I've had them in my husband's office. And they were just stacked on a table and had stuff in them like paper clips and whatever. And he just doesn't need them in there anymore. This might be a little bright for this paper. We'll see in a minute. It's pretty bright. I think I need to use celery on that. That just doesn't even. I don't think that coordinates at all. Let me let that dry a minute while I do this book. Let's see how this one is. But you can get these kind of boxes at all different places, y'all. You can get them. I think my favorite place to find some of these kind of boxes is Tuesday Morning. That's not dark enough either, but it'll coordinate when it dries. It's going to get darker, and I can put some dark wax on it to help make it look older. This first coat's not going to cover very well. It's just to get it on there. And then the next coat will cover a whole lot better. I'm just painting inside too to get, when I turn this around again, you guys can see more what I'm doing. You see in there around the edges, this print shows. I've just got to cover it up with some paint. And a little bit of it might show later, but a lot of this I can do when I'm not on here and touch it up, get it all finished. I'm going to add like 1 drop of black, maybe. Yes, 1 drop of black to that. Let's see if that helps. Yeah, it should deepen it. That's a whole lot better. Okay. Okay, let that, set that aside and let that dry. This color might work with this. It looks pretty good. Let's just go ahead and use it. They will blend anyway. Hey, Andrea. Am I saying that right, Andrea or Andrea? I never know. I've got 2 different friends that's name is spelled like that, and one says Andrea and one says Andrea. So I never am sure. But welcome. What we're doing is making these books look vintage. These are really boxes. They're not books. They're going to look like an old set of books. Actually, they may be sitting on the floor, stacked up on the floor. I'm not sure yet. So, it was a box that looked like that. I love the green too. And I'm not really too concerned. I mean, if somebody were to pick it up, I don't want to look totally awful. But I'm not too concerned about the full coverage under there, because they're probably never going to be picked up. Okay, is that the top? Yes, it is. That's the top. Hey, Sandy Rose, how are you? Never thought of painting over a pattern. Oh, girl, I paint over everything. My husband says if he don't stand still long enough, I'd paint him, and he's probably about right. I've painted shoes. I've painted purses. I've put transfers on them. There's not too much I haven't painted or tried to paint. I mixed all 3 of those colors with this. I just want this to look really old. I know a lot of times you see something in Goodwill and it's so cute, except the color is so ugly, so horrible. And you think, but take it home and paint it. You know, the worst that could happen is you throw it away. Okay, I like that. It kind of looks like leather too. So, So, and that looks horrible right there. It's not real straight, but we're going to fix that. So there is that green, and here is this green. Let me look at right there. Won't it hide the pattern? The pattern that was on the book, yes, I want it to. Hey, Sandy, I want it to. I don't want it to hide the paper. I just put it on here. That I just put on here. And that's the whole point. I don't like the gray and white pattern. And so we're going to change these up. There's a few little black streaks through there, but I like that. I don't mind that at all. You have to get the bottom lip because when your books are sitting, that's going to show. And if it's got a little bit of pattern that you can barely see underneath, it doesn't matter. Books used to be like that, not even match. They would just cover them. So this is the paint. Here, let me pick this up. This is the paint. This is the paper. This was the book. So that's what we're trying to hide, is this right here. And this is the bottom. I'm not even going to be as picky as I did on the top. Not for now anyway. I can go back and touch this up later. So y'all don't have to see me just paint and paint and paint, you know. Okay. I thought I was going to have time to prep some of this before, but I didn't. Hey, Janet. How are you? See, this side's pretty much covered. You might see a little bit of print under there, but it doesn't matter. It's not going to show through. It's covered. And I've got some antique trim that's going to go in between the paint and the paper. And I do have some molds. I might put some molds on this part before I'm done. Okay, I think that's dry enough to lay that down. Okay, there's one. Let me get this one dry. These almost feel like wood. These are not the flimsy boxes, the cardboard filling boxes. These are more like wooden boxes. These are the good ones. So you can hide stuff in here. You could put these in your bathroom and put medication in them. You could put your toothbrush and toothpaste in one. You could put your jewelry in it. Nobody would even know to look in one of these for your jewelry. So they're good hiding places. Okay, let me put these two aside and work on this one. Okay, this one's kind of a oatmeal color. I don't want them all green. Let's see. Let me get like an oatmeal color. That might work. Thank you, AB. You guys have already sent 500 stars tonight. Amazing. That was paint. You can tell that color is about empty. Let's see how this color does on this. Blends pretty good. I like it. Not gonna like it at first, but I like it in a little bit. The very first set of these I ever did, I had the papers picked out and I did them all completely backwards. And I love them. They're in my dining room. I love them, but they're backwards from the colors I had picked out for some reason. I guess I was a nervous wreck on here. And my brain locked up. I don't know. Fleta. Hi, Fleta. How are you? That's a good idea. It is a good idea because these can be, you know, in 2 or 3 years when all the colors change, you know, in 2 or 3 years, we might be back to all the blue and the mauve and all that again. Who knows what we're going to be, colors are going to be. Mine's not going to change too much because I'm not going to change a bunch of stuff because I kind of like my stuff. But, you know, things change. And this is one of those things that you can change it. You can change it. Doesn't have to stay this way forever. So if it gets outdated looking, all you have to do is not touch it. Get you some more paper. You can even use magazines or newspaper, whatever you want on here. But you can go to Hobby Lobby and get these sheets. You can see I did not use a whole sheet. So if you had some of these boxes, you could go to Hobby Lobby. Right now, they're on sale. These sheets are, you don't have to buy the whole book. The sheets are on sale for 69 cents. So for 34.5 cents, you know, 35 cents, you could buy, well, 3 of these, 35 cents each, and cover a set of books. If you just have 1 book or 2 books or 3 books. But you can easily do this with 1 sheet. If you want them to match and you have 2 books, you could probably get by with 2 books. 1 sheet will do 2 books. I was looking the other day in this Ballard Designs. This stuff is so expensive. I don't know. I get these these little, I guess you call them catalogs, or just to look at the stuff. Almost everything in there for this year is blue or green. Hey, Kayla, how are you? Okay, that's stuck. And I went over the paper edge just a little bit. That's going to be covered up. Hey, Serena. I'm going to get this dry so I can get another coat on here. And then we can do the pretty stuff. I mean, this is pretty too. But we want to cover that. Cover that pattern. This kind of reminds me of vintage wallpaper. Hey, Diane, how are you? Needs a little more Mod Podge drip, but we're gonna put that down with some ribbon anyway. So, okay, that is looking good. think all these will probably coordinate pretty good. Browns and greens are tones. It's crazy that this, when I'm painting over this, you don't even notice the texture of what is under it. You just notice the pattern. It looks just like a leather book. The texture of a real book. I don't know if you can see that or not. Can you see the texture of that? I'm not sure if you can. It looks just like a real book. I've got to get a little bit underneath here. There we go. This is the back side, so I'll put some. I may not cover it completely. It's going to be on the bottom. And these are not going to be sold. I'm just going to keep these for myself, as far as I know right now. So I don't have to be as picky as if I was going to sell them. Did you see that discount in the store was on cat? Yes, I did, Stacy. That's a good discount. That's a shame. But if I were you, I would take advantage of it. That's a good savings. Let me just get some around these edges and close that up. And then we can put some trim. Okay, let me dry that. The same set of boxes are available on Amazon for $22.74. This it for Hobby Lobby or Amazon? I don't have any idea what I paid for them because I've had them several years, but they did come from Hobby Lobby. But if they're the same boxes as these, they are really good boxes. I mean, these are thick. You can hear it. They're like wood. They're not at all. They're not at all cardboard. Prayers, Sherry. Prayers for who? I missed something. Who needed prayer? Requesting prayer for my niece. She was in a car and went to vape, and the vape thing, she dropped it, and I can't see anything else. Oh my goodness. Well, my daughter needs to hear that because she vapes, and it doesn't matter what I say, she's going to do it. You know, when you're 30 years old, you're going to do what you want to do. No matter what your mama says. But I guess that was from dropping it, not vaping. What, did it blow up? I'm going to set this on a piece of parchment paper just in case it's not completely dry under there so it won't stick. And I can be working on these. Okay. Needs just a little, some in a few little places. Mostly to the edges because books are going to be on these. Most of it's not going to show. Sherry, finish that on a different post because I couldn't. All I saw was she was vaping and she was in her car and She dropped it. That's all I could read. Guys, y'all sent 500 stars. Oh my goodness. Y'all are awesome. Okay, this is the front. And see how nice the insides of these are too. I don't know if the ones on Amazon, but they have this nice lining in them, and they're like wood. They're really nice books. Okay, my heat tool is on. So I am going to take some of this, since this book is the biggest one, I'm going to take the biggest trim and I'm going to put it right here. It's really vintage, you know. Got to make sure this is the top. Okay, it's not upside down. And I'm just going to take just enough to trim, just to put under there. So number one, so I don't waste it. Number two, there's just no reason for it. Okay, so let me trim this a little bit. Love the trim. This trim was in my stepmother's sewing box, y'all. So I know it's really old, and this ribbon's twisted. Let me get this ribbon turned the way it should be. It's a satin ribbon in there, and it's kind of twisted. I love the way it looks though. Okay. What I'm going to do is start right here and make that go in between. And then after I get this where I want it, then I'll turn it under. That way you don't, it's not going to be somewhere you don't want it to be. Okay. Now I'm going to go right down what I think is the middle where the ribbon is. And I've got several other ivory ribbons. Hey Ada, how are you? Thank you, Paula. I just love using this kind of stuff that belonged to my grandmother or my stepmother, because, you know, it's always going to be here. Let me just trim that, make it look better. Trim that, make sure I get it even, so if you open the box it'll look better. Okay, there we go. Okay, there's that one. So far I may put molds there, I'm not sure, but pretty much this one is done. Okay. Put that aside, and I may just do molds on the front. Now this is going to show through a little bit. It's okay. It's not going to matter much. Ada, I'm good. I am good, honey. I hope you are. Husband calling. He only calls when I'm on a live. You know, I'll have to call him in a little bit. He's probably on break in a conference. This is hanging off too much. I need to get that off. And this works just like decoupage paper, y'all, except it's a lot thicker. So it's harder to sand off. It's going to leave a little bit of white. I'm just going to go over it with a little bit of paint and a little bit. But not only that, but you've got to use better sandpaper. If you use a half wore out emery board or a half wore out piece of sandpaper, it's not gonna work. Okay, this is the front. That means I painted the bottom better than the front, so we're gonna get it fixed. It'll just take a minute. Let me add just a little bit of black. Where is my paper towel? Where's my paper towel? Let's just get one. I added some black to that, so it's going to be a little bit darker, but that's okay. I like the streaked look. Looks more vintage, I think. Looks like it's been used and carried around. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, that's the top. I was about to decorate the bottom. How are you, Allison? You guys, for those of you that are on here that weren't earlier, I am in an event Sunday at 2:15 my time. So it'll be 1:15 Central, 2:15 Eastern. I believe I'm right. I hope I am. But I'm Eastern Standard, so my time is 2:15. So it's going to be kind of Halloween. You know, Halloween's getting there. Okay, I have, let's see, I've got several kinds of trim. Is that the same? By George, I believe it is. Is that the same? Yes. Okay, let me find that other one. Okay, I'm gonna put this trim right here. And I also have this. I might want to Hey Karen, how are you? 2 times in one day. Yeah, I like that. That's pretty. I don't know how I'll get it on there with hot glue gun, hot glue tool, but I will. Karen, I was thinking the other day, I said something about donating something to some cause y'all were having, and totally forgot about it. So anytime I can help somebody, if you'll just let me know. Okay, there we go. That way I'll add this and put that other trim on it, and it'll be, that didn't even stick. Well, how about that? What the world? Cooled off too quick. Boy, that glue is kind of foaming up. I'm not sure why on this. I have to say goodbye. Good night. I'm exhausted. Good night, Paula. Thanks for hopping on, girl. Y'all ever run across any books with binding kind of, not the lace, of course. I'm just using the lace because it's vintage and I like the way it looks. But do you guys ever run across any books that have this kind of binding on them, like the two colors? Sometimes even fabric. I love the way it looks. Okay. Sweet dreams. You telling Paula sweet dreams? Or are you leaving us? I've got a class in a few minutes, but I can go into it a little late if I need to. Trim that off. Trim that a little short, but it's not going to show. It's when the box closes, it might even be better. There's that one. Here's this one. This trim is close to the other one. It's a little flatter. But I'm just going to put it right here by itself. Let's see, Reader's Digest condensed books used to be two-toned. Did they? I know I've had books, and I can remember books at my grandmother's that had that. And I don't know why I always loved them. It fascinated me, and sometimes I can't even remember if it was fabric or paper or what it was, but sometimes it was like two-tone, and the patterns didn't even match, but it was fascinating to look at it. So I guess I've liked this stuff a lot longer than I thought, right? I'm just an old soul. I tell you, my grandmother raised me quite a bit, and I lived with her. So a lot of things I learned from my sweet, sweet grandmother, who I miss so much. I lived with her a lot. And I was telling my children yesterday, when I was a little girl, she loved to sew. And she had a sewing room. It's probably, I thought it was a nice sewing room. It's probably a junky sewing room, kind of like my craft room is. But she had a whole lot of crafts too. And she painted everything. She's the one that told me one time I could paint my shoes if I didn't like them. She had a pair of shoes. She loved to work in the yard. And I forgot now what happened to them. She said, I just decided I'm going to paint them. She's painting them gray. I'm going to paint them. And if it don't work out, I'll just throw them in the trash. But I'm not going to until I try. She painted them. It turned out great. And those were still her favorite shoes. But when she would want to sew, there was 3 of us who lived there a lot when my mom was at work. And we lived with them. And she would open her kitchen cabinets. And we would take all the canned food out. And we would stack it for hours. We made a store. I remember one year I got a cash register for Christmas, and we would stack that canned stuff up. We had the neatest store. The stove was a place, and the counter was in the kitchen now, all over the counters. So we had all the beans together, all the, the corn together, and every now and then a label would come off, and we knew we were going to be in so much trouble, so we would hide it and we wouldn't tell her. Now, if we were smart, we would have wrote on it, right? But when you're little, you don't know that stuff. So anyway, every now and then she would pull out something to cook. She'd say, "I don't know what we're having for dinner, but we're having whatever's coming out of this can." And we knew we were in trouble. Not really in trouble, but we were told to be really, really careful. Where's my sandpaper? We were told to be very, very careful and not take the labels off our cans. When you're our age, it wasn't important stuff, Okay, let's see. Where's my other book? Here it is. Okay. There's the 3 books. Now, I have some molds I may put on the binding right there, but these, I love them. Love them, love them. Guys, do they look like books? They look like old books. Now, if you go over them with some, and I might as well just go ahead and do that. If you go over them with some dark wax and then wipe it all back, then it'll give it kind of an aged look. Where is my dark wax? Here's some. Let me just use my Ray Holtz wax and my little doohickey. I'm going to use Vintage Photo. And this sweet little thing, which is actually a makeup applicator. I might need even darker. It's not going on there too much. It's going on the edges. There you go. There's one. Let me get these edges good. Because vintage books are dirty books, right? They're dirty. I don't mean ugly dirty. I mean dirty in the dirt books. Okay, let's get some on that lace. Okay, there's one. I'm going to use charcoal on that next one because this Vintage Photo probably will not show up. I think this one is Espresso Coffee. Hey Beverly, how are you? This needs to be a little darker because this is dark and this wouldn't show up otherwise. These are cute sitting around. You can put them on top of a hutch. You can put them in your bedroom. You can put them in your bathroom. You can put them anywhere. And you have extra storage too. I have some great big ones in my guest room, and all my winter scarves are in them. All of them are full of winter scarves. I think I have 3 or 4 big ones. Yeah, I have too many winter scarves, which I don't wear as much as I used to. It's not cold here like it was in the mountains. Get a little more on this one. It's going to be on top. Wow, as long as I'm in here with this door open, my dog's happy laying there. As long as she knows where I am. I want that to crinkle right there. Okay, there you go. Does that look vintage? Okay, you guys. If I put molds on it, I will do that later. I'm going to let all this settle and cure and all that good stuff. Anyway, there you go. It feels wintry here tonight. Wind, cold, dark here too. Here too. It's not, the wind's not blowing very much. It blew earlier and it has been blowing, but tonight it's kind of calm, but it got dark earlier and it just feels like winter. I made chili this morning and that's what we had for dinner. That's what I had for dinner. And so anyway, go to your class. Yes, I will. I've got 5 whole minutes, but by the time I close all this up and get all this out of the way, I will go straight to class. So, and it's online, so I can do it in 2 or 3 minutes. Guys, thank you so much for the stars again. Y'all are incredible. And thank you for hopping on. I see 20 right now. And you guys, if you're watching me right now and you see that red live button right there, then I'm live. If you're watching me right now and it's not there, then you're watching the replay. Thank you for doing that. And if you'll just type in hashtag replay, I would appreciate that. And you guys go get you some old books, old boxes. And you can use cigar boxes. You can use any kind of box you find. It doesn't matter what color it is and what it looks like. Okay? Oh, thank you, Diane. I appreciate it. Diane, did you make the bird mold thing like I did with the gray beads? Or was that still on there? I couldn't tell how it was posted. It looks like you did the same thing. I just don't even know. I couldn't tell. Anyway, you guys, yes, you did. It was pretty. It looks good. All right, you guys, thanks for hopping on. I will see you later. I will put up a post when I'm going to be live again. I don't know when. Good night.